Okay, I am assembling a leaf spring trampoline. I've laid out all my parts. I've started to put the bottom rails together. On the bottom rails, they have the slots where the leaf springs slide into. I have my trampoline floor, my pipes that hold the net up, and leaf springs. So start putting them all together. I would put as much as you can together before you put the final one in. The final one will be tricky, just because there'll be more pressure on them. Okay, so I got it all together, except for the final link. You'll find that just sliding that bottom one on will be tricky because the pressure from all the other rails already being together. Just keep moving. You may have to move the ones beside it a little bit to allow it to flex a little bit more. But once you got it together, then you can put them closer together. Okay, I got it mostly together. This link will go in easier when I get all the other links in. I will make that fit and it'll hold. So you want to go around and put your leaves in first at the connections where the rails connect together, because that'll hold them together, and then it'll make it easier to get the rest of them together. One side of the leaves have these and the other doesn't. You want to put those on the inside as you install them. This is just a sleeve that slides down. So once you got the leaf springs in on the connecting rails, it's easy just to populate the rest of them. And as you can see, the leaves go on the outside of the upper rail. So all my leaves are in. I spread out the floor. Figure out where you want the entrance to be. I've got it over here just because it's the best place for the grass. The entrance is just a crawl through area of the upper mesh. So lay it out that way. Keep in mind, there's an upside. The hooks should be on the bottom, like so. And the upside also has the safety net. So make sure you got the right side up. Hook in one side first, and what you want to do is go to the complete other side and stretch it, put the other side in. If you do all one side, it's going to be very hard to stretch it over to the other side to put the hooks in. So you want to distribute your connections one by one, and then fill in as you go. One thing you're going to want to do is count your hooks and make sure you got the right number left, because if you start hooking it up and you skipped one, you're going to have to undo a bunch and put them back on. So I would put a couple on and count, and then when you add a couple more, just make sure your counts are still right. A lot of these you're just going to be able to bend and put the hook in. For the really, really tough ones, which might be the last few, you have this tool. So basically how this works, should come with your trampoline. Just hook it on, and this helps you really bend it in. If you have two people working on it, they could probably help you stretch a few things. Just be careful, because these things, if it slides off, it can hit you. You know, so yeah, don't hit yourself with one of those. So the hardest one so far for me to put in was the third and fourth leaf springs. After that, it gets a little easier. So make sure you spread out those first four kind of equally, and then it makes it easier to put get the rest hooked in. There you go. I got all my leaf springs in. Mine, I think, flexed a little easier because it's been used for a year or two already, or maybe even 3. So the leaf springs weren't as hard as when they are brand new. You'll have to use that flex tool a lot more, I think, that I recall. Once you've got all the leaf springs in, there's a hook, a little bungee that you attach. And what that is, it's like a safety to keep the leaf spring from popping out. So they just hook on like that. Move over to the next one. Okay. Just do that all the way around. There's a gap between, so you only have to hook one hook through each one. Just keep that in mind, or you won't make it all the way around with the number of springs that you have if you have this kind. So now I'm going to proceed to install the pipes that support the upper safety net. So my safety net has 3 pipes that connect together in each slot. So I usually put the first one in, and that will connect the upper ones to the slot on the safety net. And I'll put that last one on the top of the pipe and then insert it. It stretches a little easier that way, and it's a little easier to connect. So you get one rail in, then you put the next 2 rails together and attach that part in. There you go. So you got one in, so you got to do that all around. The last one will be just a little more stretching to do, but with 2 hands free, it makes it a little easier. 2 more left. There you go, finished product. That took me less than an hour. Now I've taken it up and down a couple times this summer already between moves, so it was a lot quicker for me, but it's still not too bad. Once you've done it before, it gets easier. The first time's always, of course, takes a little longer, but really not too big of a job. They're great trampolines. It works great. It's apparently one of the safer ones you can get. So we've been quite happy with this one. We get snow in the winter, so what I tend to do is just take the rails off and the net down, and I have a pool cover, and I just drape it over it and down the sides. It just gives it a little protection from the winter. This one comes with a skirt that you can drape around the bottom to keep pets and wild animals out. But since we don't have grass under most of that, I'll probably leave it off for now. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment below, and I'll let you know what I know about these anyway. We've been quite happy with them, with this particular trampoline. Our daughter loves it.